is Jennifer from Scenic Route. I'm going to tell you real quick my go-to method on refinishing antiques that will not be painted. This has the original finish, you know what I'm talking about, the old dried out lacquer. Maybe it has some gator hide, maybe it just has some faded spots and just not looking that nice. You're not going to paint it, but you want to spruce it up a bit. My go-to method for doing that is creating your own stripper from equal parts of acetone and lacquer thinner, and that's it. You'll want to do this outside or in a very ventilated garage. Please do not do this in your home. The fumes are bad and will make you sick. When I'd done this the first time, I was not aware and I thought, oh, I'll be okay. No, it made me sick and I was sick for a few days. So I will tell you, before you start, before you buy the products to do this, but you want to do this, just make sure how tolerant you really are and take all safety precautions, because you only have one set of lungs. I mean, you can always let someone else refinish it if you don't want to wear the proper PPE, the safety equipment that you need to do this. So I will just tell you, this is a lifesaver, literally. Like I said, you have one set of lungs. This helps you breathe and not breathe in the fumes. This is a product by 3M and I bought it at Lowe's. I think it was like $35, $40, but worth it. Okay. Besides the acetone and the lacquer, that's the only mix you'll use. Just use an old bucket or whatever to put it in. But when you're going down, when you're working the wood and you're wanting to get the finish off, you will want to use the, what is it, quadruple zero grade steel wool. That way you're not leaving any scratches or any marks on it that's not already there. I know that a lot of antique pieces have character marks and I actually like those, but so you're not going to use a sander because you don't want to leave the marks, especially this is tiger oak. I just imagine it would be a nightmare to try to sand this down and get it perfect without just spending hours and hours and hours. So like I said, this method, it takes the old finish off. I really like that old finish that that these dressers have, or any wood piece that you have, because of the finish has failed. It has dried out. It's really thin, and the reason why I like it is because it's easy to take off. If the finish is newer or thicker, then you'll have a little bit more difficulty. If you have an ornate piece, a toothbrush would work great to get in there. Just any old toothbrush, like you might want to use it right there. I didn't, and this is kind of hard to see, but I stopped, you know, I done this right here. It's hard to see in the lighting, I know, but on this drawer, I done that right there. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that in there. So on this drawer, I done this side right here, and you see the old finish is just kind of discolored. It looks dull. It's not pretty. So this right here will be easy to either seal it with hemp oil. I'm really liking the Wise Owl Lemon Verbena. That's what I have. It smells amazing. You can just go over that with those products. You do not have to put a whole nother coat of polyacrylic, polyurethane, anything like that, because we all know it's not the easiest way, and everybody wants to know, you know, how do you not get streaks? You know, you don't overwork it for one, but I'm just not a fan of applying polyacrylic or polyurethane. I do like General Finishes product if you want just a product for wood purposes. Their Armor Seal, Yes, Armor Seal. It is a polyurethane, but it's the finest product specifically for that I've found that I don't get streaks from it. So there's that. But if you want to go the completely natural route and have it smell amazing, the lemon verbena wise owl furniture salve is so good. And actually it kind of, like if it has like a faded spot in the wood itself from it sitting in a window, maybe the sunlight shining in and it bleached a little bit of the wood, that kind of, I'm not gonna say that it will fix your piece of furniture for that, but it kind of just blends everything, where that has been in my case. So there's those products. I also used like I said, the hemp oil I've used. It was by the Real Milk Company, and I ordered that off of Amazon. But anyway, that's it. I'm gonna finish up this side and show you guys. If I know the sun's glaring a little bit, but I'm just going to show you my process. So anyway, get your mask on. These are pretty easy to put on. You just adjust it to your head. Goes on like this. And it snaps in the back. Here's my bucket full of the lacquer thinner and acetone. So I'll just show you that. I also wear chemical gloves, not latex, chemical gloves. And I know I have shorts on, but I'm going to be careful. Do I sound like Darth Vader? Anyway, I have my steel wool. Drain it a little bit because it is very drippy and you can make a mess. Just when you dip it in there, kind of give it a squeeze and just work it in there in the wood. You do want to go with the grain, but however, up here on the lip of this, I do try to get it up in there a little bit. So as long as I'm not really just sanding against the grain, it won't hurt it. And I will probably get a toothbrush later to go in that spot right there. But as you can see, it works quickly. Well, you may not be able to see it, but it also drips a lot. So it is messy, but I promise you it is less work than sanding it all down, because you'll have to go through all the grits to not have the swirls and all that. This is less work, and you end up having the nice piece of furniture again. You can restore it, and if it's for yourself, you'll be happy. If not, the client's going to be happy with it. I don't know if you could see that, but it's really just eating the old finish away.
And what you'll do, if your steel wool gets too dirty, you can swap it out. But it's probably a good idea to get a clean bucket of this stuff, because it does get gross. You can see that right there. So when you're done with it, go ahead and get a clean bucket. You don't have to use a lot, but put a rag in it and just go over it and get the residue that's left behind.
And that is pretty much it. To neutralize this, and I'm not 100% sure that you have to, but to neutralize this, I'm going to use a little bit of water and vinegar mix and just go over it, and that would actually try to get some of the residue off also that it may have that I may have missed from getting my clean rag with a clean mix of the acetone and lacquer thinner. But overall, this is going to save a lot of time, possible damage to the piece, and whatever else. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions, please let me know, and follow along, tell others about us, and hope you enjoy the scenic route. Talk to you soon.